Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Construction Complete, a show all about Super Mario Maker 2. My name is Killjoy and I am back today looking at another level from the series I'm working on, Super Mario Bros. 3 Remix. The idea of it is so that I'm kind of redoing a lot of the old levels in a different style. So this is this level is based on 1.5 from the first, from Super Mario Bros. 3. And it's meant to be a level that's similar in style, doesn't necessarily have to be exactly the same, but similar enough to kind of give some kind of nostalgia there, but with my own twists, my own changes on it. So it's almost like I'm working to a bit of a guidelines, but putting my own spin on the whole thing anyway. So as always with these videos, I'm going to play through the level, then we're going to talk about the level, and then I'll critique it, what I like, what I don't like. In this case, I'm going to play for it twice, and you'll see why. It is a level that has two paths, so I'm going to show you both paths. Let's go.
Here we go.
So yeah, should feel somewhat familiar. We'll go down to start with. Oh, the skills. So that's the bottom way. You can take the bottom path on this level, or we can take the other path, which is the upper path, which is different. Or you can take a combination of two, which is quite nice. Oops, that was cool, wasn't it? Like that. So there you go, there's both versions of the, parts of the level. There's one last thing I'm going to show, because I did actually put a secret room in here, reminiscent of the original room from Super Mario Bros. 3. Didn't make it an auto-scroller, which is my mistake. But there you go, something similar to the original secret that's in there. So let's go over this level. So 1.5 does have separate paths on it. So that was kind of my thing with this level, was slopes and separate paths. That was basically the two things I'd set for myself for it, because the original level has a lot of slopes and two separate paths, but I wanted to change it up so it wasn't identical, obviously. So you'll see to start with this whole sliding area here. We have the Buzzy Beetles on it, and this is in the original game. It teaches you hold down, you can slide, you can take out enemies with sliding. So I want to keep that kind of bit of fun in. It goes into a patch of water, I believe. Now that's the one thing I cannot do in this game. Which can be a little bit frustrating, is having patches of water in places. So I had to rethink what I wanted to do and what I want to have in terms of mechanics to slow you down or to avoid, basically. So then we have that part, mushroom block, a few coin blocks there. This bit is very similar, pretty much the same. Beetle walks along, there's a couple pipes, and that's when the level splits. So we're going to take the bottom path to start with, why I made that. Now it is meant to be similar, but I also wanted to make it so, because I couldn't do patches of water, so I'm using munches instead. Now munches you can't really do a lot with, apart from make them big or give them wings. Giving them wings means they'll jump up and down. Big obviously means they're big. So it's like munches for now will make a good alternative for having patches of water, because I want to make it so that you're not just gonna, you do have to think about it. There are munches. You can technically put a beetle in there and just run across with the beetle in it, like that. It's quite cool. And then, yeah, so this bottom path, having the munches as the main obstacle along with the beetles. So very fast path, as you'll see. You can see I'm blitz through this pretty quickly, this bottom path. Oh.
Here we go.
All about the hills, all about the slopes. And this bit as well. Can run across that. So yeah, all about the speedy bottom path. And to help kind of make it feel speedy, if you knock this beetle down here, you'll take out these enemies, it'll go into this hole and you can just run across it. So that was kind of fun, being able to do that. That was unintentional, but it happened.
Here we go.
So I do this. Whoops.
Here we go.
Oh no! It's all gone wrong! Start
Here we
again.
go.
Oh, he's getting away. Do this. You can watch, I can just... He goes in there. Follow across, so you can keep the speed going. So on and so forth. But yes, so... Nintendo has a habit of putting fire flowers in levels that you don't really have a use for them. So in the original 1.5, the main enemy was beetles and you did have the piranha plants. But I put a fire flower in here. A fire flower on this bottom route is completely useless because there is only beetles and munches. Munches you can't kill in this game, I don't think. Well, unless you've got a power block, I think is the only way. I could be wrong on that. If you've got a Starman, you run across it. But beetles can't be hurt by a fire flower, so essentially it's just an extra hit. However, if you take the fire flower and go up, you can take out the fire piranha plants, or the patui, not patuis. Yeah, whatever they're called in the original game. So you can take them out if you grab it down here. However, yeah, we're just talking about this main bottom route at the moment, so it's quite quick. Got the slopes, the coins are nicely lined up so that if you jump,
Here we go.
you know, you're going to be able to get them, hopefully. That's most of where the jumps are, they're meant to be based on being kind of a path for you to take. They're kind of like,
Here we go.
hey, if you slide and jump, you know, you're going to make that jump fairly easily. And the same with this other bit. If I would stop doing that,
Here we go.
jump, and get the coins. This bit here, this little pyramid part where it goes up, you will notice that trying to jump up a hill when the beetles come down, like I've been doing, it's pretty easy to get hit. Like,
Here we go.
that'll run up. Let's go further back because I'm invincible, obviously. But you can see that if you want to make something that's slightly difficult, put an enemy on a slope. Look at that hitbox. Put an enemy on a slope because it does mean that if you just bolt along here
Here we go.
and you just do that, you're just going to get nabbed by it. So hopefully,
Here we go.
you run, stop. Because that's the good thing about a hill. You just run at a hill. Oops. It just slows you down. So, unless you're doing what I like to do and just try and
Here
run
we
through the
go.
level by jumping. But if I just try and run up this hill, I'm like, oh, there's a thing. I can slide, or I can do this. Well, I've got more time to jump over him. So, yeah, it doesn't look particularly difficult to deal with, but because it's the jumping arc of Mario, it is
Here we go.
that. You're going to hit the beetle. And with hitboxes in this game, you do have to kind of be aware they're a bit more square than they look a lot of the time. But yeah, so bottom path, fast path, you come down here, you've got the coins. If you knock the beetle, you can take these out. It will land in there, makes it a bit easier to avoid that. But quite a fast path, you've got the fire flower if you want it. And then you've got this run and jump this hill, a couple more beetles on it, and then we have this side.
Here we go.
Which is, again, coins, and you can run across that. Like, you don't need a big run up to be able to do that. So, no fear. In fact, jumping probably makes it worse. If you were... Ooh, if I was to do this... Ooh... Also... Oh wow, the beetle! The hell? I've never seen that happen before.
Here we go.
It's kind of curious now. So this beetle can go across here, but not the last one. Oh. What? How strange. That's weird. I'm kind of curious. But yeah, you can see that, you know, it's actually easier just to run across this. See if it comes back and go. Weird. I'm not sure what triggers the beetle. It must be something to do with the shape of the hitbox and all the way that the shape of the actual beetle itself. But that's weird that it falls in there. But yeah, it's kind of a bit of a trick, this, because you can't walk across it. You're obviously gonna get hit by the muncher, so you have to run. Otherwise, you straight in the hole. But if you mistime a jump, you're going straight in there. But you also see if I land, a lot of the time I can just run. If I'm holding down the run button, I'm alright. And now, there's there's a beetle in there, I can just do this. Oh, jump. Don't do that. So yeah, it's kind of a non-trap, to be honest. It's just there to look more scary than it actually is. You can kind of keep the speed up. You can jump over it, like it's easy just to do that. But if you want to run and keep the momentum, get enough speed up the hill, and off you go. And don't do that. And this bit here is just a few extra beetles as a final sort of trap. It's actually reference to another level from the original game. Yeah. And it's just a straight to the end with a final beetle. Again, trying to give plenty of time to the person playing.
Here we go.
You're not going to hit that. It's just there. It's just to make sure you're concentrating, but you're not going to hit that beetle realistically. So this bottom path I actually kind of like. I mean, it's not a very long level if you run through it like I have been, but you can see, you know, it's designed to be very fast. Beetles are the main enemy. You've got a few of these munchers, but they're not really that threatening as a result. So that's pretty cool. And then just a couple final beetles at the end and one little surprise one. So yeah, I kind of like that design. I like the fast design. I like that you can use the beetles to put on the munchers as extra platforms if you want to. So that's the main bottom route is meant to be quite quick. The top route, on the other hand, is different.
Here we go.
So, beetle. Top route is full of the fire piranha plants. Tuis, whatever the hell they're called. Which you can basically just jump over anyway. They're not like, especially in this bit, very simple. Not that you can't do the top bit fast, it's just you need to be aware that there, especially this bit, there are two of them, which you can get through if you're quick enough. But, and then this is reminiscent of the original game where there are like pipes with blocks and either Koopa troopers or beetles walking back and forth. It's not a very, I would say that neither path is particularly difficult. Not really meant to, they're just kind of meant to give two different flavours. Boop. Just one has a lot more enemies that you can kill. Oh, you can see it coming out in and out of that pipe quick. Yep. Take that. And then there's a final beetle on the ramp there, which you can use to kill him, or you can literally just slide. That's pretty fun. Let's do that again. Boop. So you can see the top path as well. Like it's not particularly complex, and there's probably a little bit less thought into it. I just wanted to use pipes. I wanted to use the fact that there were piranha plants and patuis and things. I keep calling them patuis. I really can't. Venus fire traps. Sorry, that's what they're called. Patuis are a very different enemy from the original game. But I wanted to, you know, utilize the fact that the level did have those, and you do have the piranha plants here. But now you've got the fire piranha plants up here. It was a little bit more of a challenge, but you can literally just jump over them.
Here we go.
You don't want to have to do all the hassle of them. They're not particularly in the way. This is the only place that you might get caught up. Which, again, if you're playing this as a new person to the game and you're walking through it, they should pop up before you get too close. You might get hit by them, so you do have to be careful. It's not really much of an indication, except for the pipes are the same colour. But other than that. Yeah, I made them. That's right. Yes, I made them pop up a little bit quicker, didn't I? Because I wanted to make sure that they're all in this. I believe they're all in the same color pipe. Da, 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 da. Yeah, so they all come out a little bit quicker than they normally would, which is kind of the point of having these two here on the end. So if you are just playing it, they should hopefully pop out, well, at least one will. It obviously depends on the camera scroll, so there is that, but you'll see they come out quicker and disappear as soon as they come back out. Whoop, straight away. So they're a little bit faster than they normally would be, which is intentional. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much the level. It is designed to be fairly fast. I don't know which ones. I mean, I think the bottom path is quicker, because obviously you just go forward with this, you're going up a hill and then you're going across. and then down. The coins, especially on the top path, are just kind of there. They're not really there to slow you down, per se. They are kind of, you can use them for that, because then this dude will pop out of the pipe if you're collecting the coins. Whereas if you just
Here we
go for it, you know, he's probably going to pop out the pipe as you get in there. But if you get the coins, it's going to give you a little bit more time for you to realise that there is a plant in that pipe. There you go. So, not much, but a little bit of a difference to slow down the player and be like, oh, if you're big, obviously, you'll just run through it, so you probably won't notice it. But yeah, I think the bottom path is definitely my favourite part of this level. I think it just feels more fun to play. It's not to say the top one is, I just think, you know, we've seen pipes and stuff done so many times, like in the original game and in the original Super Mario Brothers as well. Whereas, like, I mean, it looks cool, like the different coloured pipes and the using of the slopes as well. But I kind of like the speed of the bottom path. I think that's something I enjoy. I like the fact that it's primarily just Buzzy Beetles you have to deal with, and you can kick them and basically take out most of them anyway, which I enjoy. But all in all, like, I actually kind of like this level. I think improvements-wise, I definitely think modifying some of the land. Like, I like the use of the slopes in this. Like, first bit up until here, absolutely fine. This bottom path, I like the fact that I'm using the slopes for you to jump off to grab the coins and trying to keep that fast path. Like, I think this is alright. I don't think there's anything too difficult. Maybe remove it, putting this Koopa Troopa slightly further down here, just because, like I said,
Here we go.
you know, jumping up a thing, that wasn't so bad, but potentially I'll put him here instead.
Here we go.
You've got plenty of time to jump then and also pick him up, and you can see the other one coming. So that might be, that placement of the enemy might be something I'd be like, maybe I'll change that. Just based on the fact that obviously I've jumped into, as you've seen a few times, I've jumped in and got killed by it a few times. Where like, because it's the arc of my jump. So maybe that enemy placement on that beetle, maybe just have the one instead of two. I think the top route, I would maybe rejiggle some of the pipes. I'm quite happy with the piranha plants, but maybe the top path could be a little bit more interesting. It's kind of hard to say, because the thing is with a lot of the original Super Mario Bros. 3 levels, that a lot of them aren't that complex when you look at just how they're designed. Some of them are very weirdly designed. But I think the bottom route is you know, there's maybe a few minor tweaks. Could make this bit here with the munches maybe a little bit more difficult, because it does seem pretty hard to fall down onto those munches unless you're walking, like, or jumping. I just never seem to. As long as I got the run button held down, I just. Oh, there we go. So you got to be oddly very specific, because if you're just catching the land, did it twice in a row. If you're just like going for the land, it seems like a lot of the time you're just gonna build up enough speed without having to worry too much. So yeah, bit of a non-threat. They will kill you, but it's unlikely. Maybe adjusting this. Maybe having this part here move to like nearer here. But yeah, then maybe adjusting some of these coins, make them a little bit lower. I mean, the jump there is good enough so you can get them. But all in all, I'm pretty happy with the layout. Maybe removing one of the beetles from here, so there aren't so many. The one at the end I don't mind so much. I think he's pretty unthreatening. But the top route, like the top route is fast as well. Like the whole purpose of this level was to go with the whole slopes. Use slopes as a way to show off that you can slide up and down them, obviously, but give that sense of speed in this level. And obviously, going up a slope is slow, but using the slopes to gain speed. So if I try and run through this level, I'll just do the bottom route for now. Jump, 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 slope, jump. Alright, don't do that. But you can see how quick the level can be. Oops. And then versus going up top, like you still got slopes up there, but you do have to kind of deal with the fact that they're going up a hill. And then you can see how fast this level it actually is. If you just get your timing down, you can probably speedrun this fairly quickly. And I kind of like that. That was kind of the goal, was to have a fast level. Have something with slopes, have something with beetles. Obviously reminiscent of the original 1.5, but this is quite different. The original 1.5 has Koopa Troopers in it, I believe. It has very different pipe layout. Obviously, as this, you go through a pipe to get to the end of the level. This does enough for me to be like, this is based on that level. Just the beginning alone. Just this one section of sliding down here and this part here with the pipes and this Buzzy Beetle. But as soon as it splits off here, like, it completely changes. Like, it's got the design almost is the same, but the placement of everything else is different, and that's something I'm quite happy with. I definitely think there's some changes to enemy placement in this level, and possibly the pipe layout at the top that could be better, or at least more interesting, if nothing else. But it's hard to say. Like, most people that I've got to play this have not struggled. Most people take the bottom path as well. I think that's just kind of the natural thing, is to run and you see the slope and you go, alright, down the slope we go. But yeah, I think overall it's fairly decent. What's in there? Is it a fire flower at all? Or is it just a mushroom? So you get a fire flower there, which is right near the end of the level, which you can use to kill off these plants, but all in all it's a bit useless, isn't it? But yeah, I am happy with this level. I think it's fairly decent. It's been fairly fun making it, but it's also, you know, there's tweaks. You know, all these levels I do, there's always going to be tweaks and things that I would want to do to them. Some of them I'm far more happy with than others. But in the case of this one, I very much enjoyed having it be that fast kind of level. Like, you can walk through it, and I'm going to do that now. I'm going to play through it just by walking through it, no sliding, and you're going to see how different it is versus how I would play it. So I'm not going to slide, which means I would have to do this. But you can see, just like, this level requires a lot of jumping. And again, this is how I test my levels. Like, before I upload them, I make sure I can do this. Like, hold right, don't grab any power-ups. See, that becomes, without running, that becomes such a more intricate challenge. And that's the interesting thing with making a Mario level, is because, and this happens with some of the later levels I've made, when you add a power-up into a level, whether it's a Starman, a Fire Flower, a Raccoon, you have to compensate for the fact that with this power-up, you now have the ability to kill things. So this entire top route with these fire plants, Venus fire traps, is you can just shoot them now, and they become a non-threat. If I go up here,
Here we go.
with a fire flower, yeah, sure, the beetles aren't going to take any notice, but poof. All the challenge is gone, and that's the biggest thing about making a level, which makes it difficult. Which is why a lot of the time people don't always use power-ups. They just give you the mushroom, like, because when you're big, you don't have that ability. You can just jump on things, and things like these plants are a threat. Whereas when you have a fire flower, they become less of a threat. And the same with a Starman. Like, let me show you just how crazy it is with a Starman in this game. And this is the thing that baffles me. This is the one change I never really truly understood.
Here we go.
But not only you run so fast, I can probably make it through most of this level. When I got to the end of the level there, I didn't have to think about it. I probably can do better than that. Let's see what happens. I bet if I run and not slide, so yeah, already pretty fast. Look at that. Like, when you put a Starman in a level, you have to compensate the fact that that's a thing. Like, it really changes up how you make a level. And so every time I put a power-up in there, I have to think about, you know, I've got to build the level around that by giving that to a player. So, by giving the fire flower, if you stay on the bottom route, it just acts as an extra hit, which is less of a problem. If you go upstairs, though, where the fire piranha plants are, you're going to get hit by them. You know, you can take them out, but you can still get hit by them, but you can take them out. You've got the ability to get rid of them, which makes this entire level much easier. And it's that interesting back and forth, like, Do I want the player to be small X amount of time? Do I want them to give them a mushroom fairly early on? Do I want to give them a raccoon leaf so they can explore more of the level, make the jumps easier? Because every time you add something, it makes something easier. I've got a distance way of getting rid of the enemies with a fire flower. I've got invincibility, so nothing can hurt me. I've got the leaf, which means it's easier to make longer jumps. So it all comes down to that when making these levels, and that's just for everybody that is doing it, because it's tough. But I think that's everything I want to talk about today with this level. Like, overall I'm pretty happy with it. I think it gives off the right impression, but I think there are definitely a few tweaks that could be made to some enemy placement and things like that. But overall I am happy, and I think this is one of those levels that took a little bit of tweaking anyway in the first place, where I was like, I know what I want to do, but trying to execute that idea wasn't quite working for me, so I kept coming back and coming back and coming back and getting people to playtest it. And my god, does playtesting make your life so much easier when people haven't played them before, because you can see what needs to change, and it helps drastically. But I think that's going to do it for me today then, guys. Thank you very much for watching, as always. If you like the video, hit like. If you want to see more content like this, obviously hit subscribe, and you know, now have a Twitter. So if you want to follow us on Facebook and Twitter, you can do that. All the links for that will be in the description below. And obviously, feel free to send me your course codes. I'm always interested in playing other people's stuff. The course code will be on the screen at the beginning of the video and at the end of the video, so you can play this if you want, and feedback is always welcome there as well. But that's going to do it for me, so I will see you guys next video.